Yo, still Mills, what's the deal, man? I'm off the clockage. It's Thursday. I'm going home, man. I gotta. I'm kicking it today, man. I already told my coach, man. Back next week, we back at it again. You dig me? We back at it. Regularly scheduled programming, and that's just what it is. But peep game, man. I want to get into something, man, and that's Carl Froch, man. I'm usually not one to say, and I'm still not gonna say he's jealous of Anthony Joshua or no shit like that, right? I don't. I think jealousy is a word that that people just that people just throw around too much to justify not liking an individual for whatever reason. I don't think it's jealousy. I honestly don't, because you can be just irritated with somebody and not necessarily be jealous of them. You can just be like, yo, like you may not personally feel like he's cut the mustard in the manner that you would like him to cut the mustard in. You may feel like he's been a bit spoon fed. You may feel like he's been somewhat protected and manufactured as a champion or as a fighter in totality, man. You may actually feel like that and be convicted to feel like that. And that just may be your stick. That may just be your get down. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're jealous of him. You just, you got your personal feelings towards it. So, and I think that's a case of of what this is right here, man. But it just reaches a certain level of ridiculousness to where it's like, homie, I'm still not gonna call it jealousy, but I am gonna call it downright just goofy. I'm gonna call it, just you're just looking for reasons to poke at him for whatever the reason, because you just don't like the nigga. And my thing is this, man. I just watched your interview on IFL TV, and some of the points you were trying to make just did not land well, bro. And there was 2 points in particular that I want to talk about. The first point being when you said that you could expose him had you, how you put out the messages and text messages or whatever that you say that y'all shared back and forth between each other. You could have put him out there and really exposed him and hurt his feelings and just really fucked him over, on that shit. And my thing is this: you did it once. What's stopping you from doing it again? Because your perception of Anthony Joshua is so skewed. It's so skewed. It's so skewed, and we've seen just the level of vitriol and animosity. Oh shit! We've seen the level of vitriol and animosity that you have towards this dude, to the point where it comes off as you're bitter about him, you don't like him or whatever. So why would? And you take every opportunity you get to take a jab at him, you take a jab at him, even if in a backhanded compliment. So what's to stop you from from exposing him as you proclaimed that you would have did, like you did the first time when you released all the messages that Anthony Joshua sent you, when he was sending you, yo, get on my level. Well, he's showing him counting money and just took that out, what I'm saying, just it really just bowed down and let him show, man, I'm more successful than you, man. Get on my level. Which you're a successful individual as well. I'm sure you sitting nice and sitting comfortably off of your winnings as a professional fighter, but you're not as comfortable as him. And that may have ruffled your feathers a little bit, and that may have caused you to go into victim mode and start speaking as if you never wronged this dude. You started speaking as if you never made, went on, went in these interviews and made, sat down in front of these interviews and said some really just some sick and twisted half truths about him. You dig, and been overly critical of him, just like this, in the same manner that the American boxing public was overly critical of him. You've done that. You've done that. So now I'm to believe that you're trying to save, grace with this dude by not exposing him, exposing the text messages that he sent to you that will have him looking some type of way when you sat here and slandered this dude for I don't know how many years. You're that gracious to where you wouldn't release all them text messages and you know what I'm saying, sully the dude's name. I don't think that's the case at all. He probably called you some names or whatever. I'm sure he did, but what can you say? If what could you what could he have possibly said? Besides, only word I can possibly think of that he would have called you was the F bomb. Maybe said some shit about questioning your sexuality or something like that, or to ruffle the feathers of the LGBTQ. maybe I don't know what your immediate lineage is. I don't know what I know you're a white, you're a European, but I don't know what country within Europe you come from. So I mean, maybe something in regards to that. But I feel like nothing he said probably was that sadistic to where it would ruin him. Were we talking sponsorships getting fucked off or whatever? I don't think I don't know. It could be, but I'm not gonna be the dude to say nah. Fuck it, I'm gonna be that dude. He ain't say nothing to you, bro. He ain't say nothing to you. He ain't say nothing to you. I highly doubt that. Anthony Joshua was a conscious man. He's a critical thinker. I highly doubt he would use certain inflammatory words that can turn around and bite him in the ass, especially considering when you are the one who leaked those text messages and those videos that he sent you or whatever, counting him money, counting money and all that shit. Why would he sit there and do some shit that will publicly, cause him that public slander like that, a public execution? I highly doubt that man said anything to you in them text messages that would call, that would fuck around and cost him his career. Highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. And if he did, had he did, I don't think that you have the level of humility to keep that shit under wraps. I just don't, bro. You shown yourself to be not classless. I won't say classless. I won't say that. But you have shown yourself to be somewhat of a dastardly dude, a deceptor. You've been pretty deceptive in your view on him. You've been overly cynical and sinister in a lot of the shit that you've had to say about him, to the point where you can't help but be sympathetic with him feeling some type of way about you. You can only discredit me but for so long and talk about my shortcomings and how I'm manufactured and all that before you start to get blowback from that shit. You've been doing that for years. And it's just nerve and audacity to me that you would think somebody is just not supposed to respond to that. A nigga is just supposed to just roll over and take all the over criticism and analysis that you give him. No, fuck out of here, bro. No, and you're even at a point where you're talking about fighting this nigga. We could go out in the middle of the street, bro. What the fuck you gonna do with Anthony Joshua, bro? Like, you're playing on his humility, and because he's not bad. I guarantee you. I bet. I see you tomorrow. Then after this fight, what's happening? We're gonna see about this after my fight with Daniel Dubois. Your whole tune to change up, and I think he needs to take that energy. The dude got lawyer money. I bet. I'm gonna take you up on your offer. I'm gonna come holler at you. I think he needs to do that, because y'all get a little too reckless, man. Y'all get a little too reckless. People get overly comfortable with sitting. But now, granted, you're a fighter. You're a great fighter. You're a great fighter. But Anthony's a really good heavyweight. He's a really good heavyweight. You're not doing nothing with Anthony Joshua, dog. If Anthony Joshua, even if, bro, there's what you gonna do? He's been hit by. You don't hit harder than, and you don't hit harder bare knuckle than fucking we'll say Andy Ruiz or Dillian White or Usyk. Usyk may be the lightest puncher that he's dealt with. You don't hit harder than Usyk bare knuckle than Usyk hits with gloves on. You don't. But you talking about fighting this dude, man? Come on, my nigga, stop playing with me. You keep finding ways to poke the bear. You keep grabbing at the tail of the snake, man. You gonna be like that nigga up in Brazil that one time, man. That motherfucker, they let an anaconda go, and he just wanted to be the dude to test the waters to see if he can capture the snake by itself. I bet. And he jumped on the snake, and not knowing what he was doing, he didn't have the experience to wrangle a snake, and that snake turned around, bit him, latched onto him, and it had his team not been there, that snake would have killed him and consumed him. You that guy. My nigga Jay-Z told you, man, do not bark up that tree. That tree will fall on you, bro. And the biggest takeaway from that fucking interview was you saying that they're not, this fight with Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua isn't a title fight. You thought it should have been for the British title or whatever the case may be. Maybe you got a point with that. Maybe you do, but guess what? It's not. And why isn't it? Because Usyk surrendered the belt. Never got stripped here. Y'all can have that. Now, whether there was some shit back behind the scenes that you're saying that Eddie Hearn was complicit in Eddie Hearn was complicit in taking forcing the IBF to force their hand or whatever for that fight. Yo, possibly. But at this point in time, it's a title fight. And you don't get to dictate the terms of how a title fight goes when it's an actual full title on the line. And you bringing up the fact that you fought fucking John Pascal for a vacant strap contradicts everything that you talking about. You can't say me and John Pascal were the number one and number two. Well, what are they? And you keep saying that Anthony Joshua just lost to Usyk. He fought Usyk. He's had 4 fights since Usyk. He's had 4 fights. Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, Otto Wallin, Francis Ngannou. That's 4 fights. 2 years ago, that nigga didn't just lose to Alexander Usyk. Tyson Fury just lost to Alexander Usyk. So you don't get to say the dude just lost. No, the fuck he didn't. He's 2 years removed from that loss. 2 years. What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? You keep reflecting on the, oh man, you lost to Andy Ruiz, a fat head. Like, bro, man, like, it just gets to a point where you look for small, you look for reasons to dig at him, my nigga. And if he really want to get on that type time with you, bro, you are powerless to stop this dude. Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois they're fighting for a title. And however semantics you want to present into the affair, that's a non sequitur. Because you don't dictate what goes into making a title fight. This shit is ridiculous. Ain't no, well, that's just like with Andre. No, it's nothing like that. Why? Because it's not you versus Andre Ward. It's not you versus Mikael Kessler. It's not you versus John Pascal. It's not none of y'all. It's Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua. It's a title fight. You don't get to just disregard that, man. You don't get to just keep, poking on the fact that this dude lost to Usyk. Who hasn't lost to Usyk at this point? Who hasn't lost to Usyk at this point? Derek Chisora lost to Usyk. And y'all, that's another thing I keep talking about. Yo, well, him and Daniel Dubois just lost to Usyk. So what? So what? Does that matter? No, it doesn't. Shane Mosley and Ricky Hatton lost to Floyd, but guess what? Manny Pacquiao still fought both of them in the aftermath. Juan Manuel Marquez and Miguel Cotto both lost to Manny Pacquiao, but guess what? They both fought to Floyd Mayweather and lost in the aftermath again. You can't keep talking. And none of them were undefeated when they fought. Man, stop playing. When you become an interim, and I fucking hate them. I hate them treatment titles. But when you become an interim, that interjects you into immediate title contention. What are you talking about? That you and Pascal were the number 1 and number 2 fighter. What is Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois? While Daniel Dubois is holding an interim strap, Anthony Joshua has been on a tear since that fucking Usyk. 3 knockout wins out of 4 fights. You don't think that's gonna put him into? You don't think that puts him in title contention? Especially after Tyson Fury just lost, a demoralizing loss. Anthony Joshua didn't touch earth when he fought Usyk. Tyson Fury did though. All the chinny shit that y'all be having to say about Anthony Joshua, he never touched earth. The ropes never had to keep that man up. You keep finding reasons to take digs at this dude, man. That shit is weird. I'm not gonna say you jealous, but I am gonna say, yo, I think you have, you definitely have a vendetta against the dude, and it's just coming from a real weird place, man. A lot of times, I just think a lot of the Brits, a lot of them take on the paradigms of the American boxing public because y'all want to still assimilate into the American boxing scene, man. Fuck America. There's no reason why y'all shouldn't be singing that man's praises over there in the UK. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. You wasn't too good to fight fucking John Pascal for a fucking vacant strap. They shouldn't be too good to fight each other for a vacant strap. And it's not even a vacant strap anymore. Daniel Dubois has been elevated to a champion. Bivol did not beat anybody to become a champion. It's what he did after he became a champion, what made everybody salute him. He's defending it. But Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois should be fighting for the British title, not the full IBF. Man, come on, man. Like, this shit is ridiculous, bro. I would just rather you come out and say you don't like the dude. Just come out and say that. You can still be like, I'm not a fan of him, man. You can, but then it would justify the criticisms. It would you'll still be in a position to get critique your goddamn self for your criticisms against him. But at least it'll be like, all right, well, yeah, we can come out and we can. It'll give motherfuckers relief to say he just don't fuck with Anthony Joshua. A nigga can breathe, a sigh of relief, and it would do yourself some justice as well. So maybe people won't be overly as critical of you. You do not get to dictate the terms of a championship bout, bro. You do not get to denigrate and castigate somebody for fighting for a vacant, and it's not even a vacant strap. When you fought for a vacant strap, you don't get to make assertions about Usyk still being the undisputed world champion when he's only holding 3 belts. Because not Usyk, but Dubois and Joshua is fighting for the 4th one. Who the fuck are you? Man, like, this shit is comical, man. This shit is comical. Y'all are equivalent to how motherfuckers was doing Bud. You dig? Haters. I'm a hater. The difference between us, though, I can admit to when I'm a hater, bro. I'm a hater straight up and down. I am. I've said it once. I say it again. I'm the biggest hater, man. On some hip hop shit, I'm the biggest hater. I'm the biggest critic. I am, bro. Leave my culture alone. Leave my culture alone if you was not gonna come in and upkeep the standard. And I'm unapologetic about it. And it feels great to say that shit. I ain't gotta tap dance around shit and try to justify shit in a dignified manner when I'm being indignant about it as well. Like, no, bro, I'm about to come right out and tell you, no, I don't fuck with them niggas. I don't fuck with them niggas. I don't fuck with Tank. I think Tank is a talented fighter, though. So when it's time for me to start throwing salt, I don't gotta sit here spin shit. I'm coming out and I'm telling you the truth. No, I don't fuck with dude. So I ain't gotta show myself in a certain light because I'm wearing it on my sleeve. You're not doing that at all. You're trying to come off like you're a likable guy and that you fuck with him. You just wish it was something that he would critique, tweaking, whether it's his persona or whether it's his game, so y'all can get over this hump and you can be a fan of him and embrace him and brotherhood. And that ain't the case. You're overly critical, dude, and you just don't want to admit it. And now you look like a fool. You look like a fool. You look obtuse. Stop throwing salt, bro. Or if you're gonna throw the salt, at least become a self-proclaimed hater, such as myself. Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. The week after next, I will be purchasing that fight. $20 too? Nigga. $20 for that fight, that's better than Canelo and Berlanga. I can't fucking wait, man. I can't wait for that shit to go down. I'm overjoyed. That's a stacked card. We lit. I will be I will be streaming Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga next week. The week after that, I will be watching Anthony Joshua become a 3-time world champion. When he outlined Daniel Dubois on chalk in about 7 or 8 rounds. Man. That's how I'm feeling about it, man. Hold your head up, Anthony Joshua. You the man over there in the UK. Second best heavyweight. Deuces.